Ladies and gentlemen, moving on, our next session will focus on regulatory reforms in India and single global development. We are privileged to have with us two distinguished speakers. First, we have Mr. Chandrasekhar Ranga, the Joint Drugs Controller of India at CDSCO, Government of India. Following him, we will hear from Susanna Almeida, the Secretary General of the International Generic and Biosimilar Medicines Association. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Chandrasekhar Ranga. Can we have a big round of applause? Yes? A very warm welcome to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Members of the IPA, distinguished guests from FDA and other agencies probably, experts from the industry. It's too early in the morning. Probably every one of you must have had some shot of caffeine. Okay, let's move on to the work today. So today, at the outset, so I thank the organizers for having me here. This is the second time I am at this forum. Earlier, it was in the second Global Pharmaceutical Quality Summit. So I was speaking on some other topic. So today's topic is on the updates on the drug laws in India. Next slide, please. Okay. Talking on the drug laws, so how a law is formulated. By a stroke of a pen, so we can just replicate the best practices or maybe just copy the already established laws of other countries. But why do have something specific to our country? The laws are made based on the needs of the country. And when our law, the Drugs and Cosmetics Act, so then Drugs Act 1940 was made. It was made mostly to ensure quality of the product, to avoid spurious drugs. Over the period, even though the structure remains the same, so we have added so many areas to ensure safety, efficacy, and quality. We have been amending the laws from time to time. And now, so we all must agree that, so we have come to a stage that we follow the international practices to a larger extent, at least in spirit, if not in letter. And we can proudly say at this moment that we are at par with any other country. Of course, there might be issues with respect to enforcement because of the structure of the Indian Constitution, that the center and the states. So as I said, so the laws will be revised from time to time depending upon the needs of the country. And today, so the government thought like the 1940 law should be repealed and then it should be replaced by a new bill called the Medical Devices and Cosmetics Bill 2023. So there were attempts. I myself was in the drafting team, and we have made at least 4 versions of the bill earlier. So it was in 16, 17, and later also. But this is a consultation process. It's not a one-way affair. So that's why, so there are always consultations with the industry. and only when consensus emerge that, so it will be placed in the Parliament. Of course, there will be opportunities for consultation even after placing in the, so on the table of the Parliament. The government has placed this bill, so you might have also already seen. So what is unique to this bill is that, so whichever areas are missing in the current act, like clinical investigation, clinical studies, and devices, the entire device is treated as a drug right now. So now we will have a separate chapter. Basic tenet is that, so to strengthen the regulatory system, and the gap that we face now is that the coordination between the center and the state. Now, the coordination is provided under certain sections of the act, but they are mostly, we can say, consultation or maybe advisory, recommendatory. So this bill, if it comes into force, it is proposed that it creates an obligation both on the state and the center to comply with the provisions. That is I feel personally that this is one area, so which we are looking at. And the second important is that in case of minor offenses, so there will be adjudicating officer, and they will be compounded. So this would go far in the minds of the entrepreneurs, that that he will not be staying at prison. So every time something mishap happens, maybe knowingly or unknowingly. So these are other features that you already have known or might you can see on the screen. I'll skip to the next. Other features include regulation of online sale, and then many digital interventions. So these are the main features of the bill, and the existing provisions in the rules are expected to be brought under the act, and the entire rules will be rewritten. So it will take a while, even if the Parliament passes it, because the rules have to be formulated. But what is required is cooperation from the industry. This bill would have passed in 2023 itself, before the elections, except for the concerns raised by a certain section of the medical devices industry of whatever wishes they had. So otherwise, other features of this bill, so they were broadly acceptable for the pharma industry. So that's one thing that everyone we are also looking at. So let us wait and see so how it will pan out. But certainly it may take time, or it may be as sooner as possible, but it will happen. The other areas that the regulators are doing to ensure quality of health products, medical products, is the Schedule M. So as I said earlier, this Schedule M was earlier, the current Schedule M, so it was notified in 2022, 21-22. 2001 and 2. So these good manufacturing practices were made based on the status of the industry at that point of time, and keeping in view the requirements of the country to make drugs accessible and also affordable. Because of the large population that we have, so more than what the law says, our basic endeavor would be to provide accessibility and affordability of drugs that are available in India. Now, so we have come a long way from that point, and in 2018 itself, so we have proposed that the Schedule M should be revised and the GMP should be upgraded along with the WHO requirements. So as I said earlier, because of the consultation process, so it has taken time, but now on December 28th last year, so we have notified this Schedule M. And incidentally, today, so those manufacturers whose turnover is more than 250 crores, the revised Schedule M applies, That means whatever you are seeing at the screen, so that applies from today onwards. And everyone is expected to comply with these GMP requirements. For smaller MSME units, so there is 6 months more. So what are the salient features? So by this time, because many of the IPA members would be falling under more than 250 crores, so you might be aware. Pharmaceutical quality system so is one key area that has been added to the GMP. The second one is the QRM, quality risk management, and product life cycle management. So these are some broader areas so which are required, so which were they were being followed with the reference of the WHO guidances that are provided, but specifically we have brought this under the present Schedule M. So what we have done, so to lessen the pain, so what we have done, we have continuously, even before December, we have continuously we have conducted workshops across the country, all the major hubs, and then created awareness among the industry that this Schedule M is going to come, be prepared. So that endeavor is continuing even today. So we had almost many workshops throughout the country, and so next month we will be having at Chandigarh also. And the government also has revised this RPTUA scheme, the revised Pharmaceutical Technology Upgradation Assistance Scheme. So incidentally, I am the chairman technical committee of this scheme. The scheme says that if any manufacturing unit would like to upgrade to the revised GMP requirements, it will be, the government will provide assistance about 1 crore. So 1 crore would be 10 million rupees. And that is subject to these conditions, that the amount have to be spent on upgradation, and they should provide evidence. And there is a cap on the turnover, so less than 250, in other cases, even large like IPA members, so large manufacturer also, they qualify for this subsidy. However, the quantum would be less. Being a chairman of the technical committee, so these applications are reviewed by us, and we recommend the Department of Pharmaceuticals to provide assistance. So we have already reviewed about 13 applications, and so we have decided that the government will give a commitment that we will provide this assistance, provided they complete the upgradation and meet the GMP requirements. So if we see where we were maybe many years back and where we are now, the majority of the initiatives that you are looking at today, so they were started in 2015-16, like the mandatory conduct of the bioequivalence study. So that was, we did in 15-16, and it was notified in 17. So likewise, to have uniformity of the inspections that are being carried across the country, because the states are the licensing authorities, and the CDSCO did not have any role in certain categories of drugs like conventional solid OSDs, small volume parenterals and all. So we have removed the requirement of renewal. So earlier we used to have the renewal of licenses every 5 years, while omitting the requirements at the same time to ensure oversight. What we have done is that not less than once in 3 years there will be inspections, GMP inspection, or as per risk-based approach. So if the facility is operating at a higher risk, there will be more frequent inspections. So this has led to a, based on this only, maybe I will touch this in the next slides. And the marketers are also made responsible, because we have seen that small manufacturers, so they were manufacturing and they were supplying to third parties. And there were issues because of the cost cutting, the marketeers were not held responsible, and the manufacturer was forced to bear the brunt of the law. So that's why the marketer today is also equally responsible for the quality of the product that is placed in the market. Another area is to prevent entry of the spurious and falsified drugs in the supply chain. So we have introduced this QR code. Earlier in 2015, so we have issued a draft notification for 14-digit barcode, GTIN. But at that time, so the industry thought like there is a need that the entire the chain, I mean, the lines have to be revamped, and they are facing many problems, and the cost also would be enhanced. So that was deferred, and we have brought this amendment requirement again, that in case of the top 300 brands of formulations, it is mandatory to have the QR code to verify the genuinity of the product. So there's a difference. It's not track and trace. It is only authentication. That's all. So over the period, we thought like once we understand what are the issues arising out of this, we can extend to all the drugs. Maybe in the future, we can see that this provision is extended to all the drugs. But so that is not decided. It's a thought that we had at that time. And because many APIs that were imported from countries like China, so they were imported under the name of the technical grade or maybe chemical name, IUPAC name. So they are being bought in. So to know whether it was API or whether it is a drug which is manufactured or imported under license, so we have introduced the QR code even on the APIs. Now it would provide us traceability of from where it is coming and what is the origin of the product. Along with that, Rule 84AB, we have amended the rule to provide that all manufacturers has to upload the data. So the data includes manufacturing site details, product details, formulation, compositions, and various other things that is provided under the rule. So we have provided Sugam portal, so made provisions under that. And as on date, so 9,461 firms are there. They include both the manufacturing as well as the firms which are holding loan licenses. So that's why exact number of manufacturing facilities will not be reflected here. And there are 7,59,367 drug formulations which have been registered as on date. And out of them, there are 178,000 brand names are there. So what is the significance of this? I will tell you in the other slides. So based on the amendment that we have done of risk-based approach, so we have started this. So we have initiated the risk-based inspections in December 22. And over the period, we have done a number of risk-based inspections all across the country. They included both manufacturing facilities as well as the lab testing facilities. And it is not like earlier we used to inform the state licensing authorities to follow up, but this time we did it ourselves. Because of that, so we have ensured that the manufacturers have done some CAPA. They have renovated their facilities, and it has been very, very fruitful. We also are having monthly meetings with the state regulators to ensure that this risk-based inspections is carried on and the CAPA is done effectively. And we also had regular meetings with the industry associations. So other regulatory measures like, so earlier, so there's a requirement to submit, you can read it as PSUR, so apologies. So pharmacovigilance is necessary for new drugs, but we have created separate division for PSURs, adverse reporting, ADRs and AEFI divisions. And we are also started auditing of the pharmacovigilance system of the manufacturer of the new drugs. And to simplify the filings, so we have started the module under the Sugam portal for online filing of the PSURs. As we know, a couple of years back, we have delegated the power to issue export NOCs to the state. But due to various shortcomings, the system was not functioning satisfactorily. So it was taken back, and now from 15th May we have started issuing export NOCs. So the timelines have been reduced, and now we are issuing on the average 3 days we are issuing export NOC, and to consistently issue within this time period, we have reduced the levels of review from 3 to 2. Earlier, there were 3 levels used to review this application. Now, to fast track that, so we have reduced to 2 levels. So 1 will review and 1 will issue. So this has enabled us to reduce the timelines to 3 days. And another aspect that we are looking at in recent times is that the NAP AMR 2.0, so National Action Plan Antimicrobial Resistance 2.0. The government is placing very importance on this particular aspect. So we have started dedicated consultation with the states. So am I running out of time? Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll take five more minutes. And then we have started a Ayush vertical. Earlier, Ayush was under the ministry enforcement, and now we have the Ministry of Ayush has given the enforcement powers to the CDSCO. Under CDSCO, we have 4 Ayush inspectors, whether it is Ayurvedic doctors, 1 ADC, and all the inspections under Ayush will be carried by CDSCO. We have already started. And coming to the guidance documents, not only these areas, we are also providing guidance. So with respect to the Schedule M, we have said wherever guidance documents are referred, these guidance documents now, as on date, we have not issued, but till such time we issue the guidance documents, then you can follow the WHO guidance documents that are issued for this particular purpose. And in these cases that you see on the screen, that we have either revised or issued the guidance documents. They include the risk-based inspections, how they should be conducted, and sampling procedures, guidance for biological products, and the PV. So not only that, so we continuously are doing the capacity building. Now CDSCO has a strength of more than 1,800 personnel. So this is like a huge number when compared to the capacities that we had earlier. And the e-governance, so I said earlier, so in the second forum that I have come to speak, that was on this e-governance when, so we have launched, and at that time I have said that one day, so we'll be 100% digital. So now we have come to that situation that we are almost 100% digital, except for very few post-approval submissions. We have developed, so I was heading the IT e-governance cell right from 2012 till date. So my team, we have developed 4 portals, one for Sugam, drugs, medical devices, and because states do not have a common portal, so we have developed this One Nation drug licensing system for all the states in the country, and the Sugam Labs, it is a solution for lab LIMS for all the laboratories under the CDSCO. We have 8 laboratories, and the government also, government has started this NSWS as a single window system, and we also have become part of the NSWS. You can see the new modules which are developed on the Sugam portal. So post-approval changes, pack for vaccines, manufacturing licenses for vaccines. Earlier it was only marketing permission, and blood center and components licensing, because they are coming under CLA system, dual licensing system. So as you see, so more than 400,000 applications that we have processed on Sugam. So out of that, so almost 30,000 firms are registered with Sugam. So we have a large database, almost all the firms which are operating in the pharma sector commercially. So we have registration with the Sugam. So ease of doing business, we have taken various steps in ease of doing business, and we are continuing to work on that to do it better. This includes the predefined timelines. For example, in case of issue of permission to conduct a clinical trial, the deemed approval concept has been introduced. So others are like fixing the timelines. So coming to the initiatives under consideration, what you expect in the coming maybe 1-2 years is that, so a committee has been constituted for OTC drugs. So I was a convener of a committee, subcommittee earlier. We have given recommendations, and the recommendations were accepted by the DTAB. But as a pilot, we have only recommended 16 products, but the industry thought like all the products should be brought together at one go. So that's why the committee was reconstituted, and then the committee is now looking at the products. So there will be a large number of products are being considered now. And the registration of CROs, a draft rule has already been issued to ensure the quality of the data that is generated through clinical studies. So as I said earlier, there is an issue of confusing brand names, similar brand names. So now we have built a database, and our database has about 178,000 brand names. So as has been directed with various law agencies that we plan to make it public, and anyone who wish to register their product, apply for an additional product with a brand name, they are expected to search through this database and also other databases provided. And only if their name is not phonetically or otherwise similar to the any of the brand that is in the database, then only it will be accepted. So this is going to come very shortly. And because there are many stakeholders in the pharma industry, the government agencies, various government agencies, DOPs there, Health Ministry, DBT, and also industry associations and the trade. So we are building upon a unified portal, one single portal, which will address all the issues pertaining to and all the data will be at one single place. So we have floated a global tender, and we are in the process of identifying the vendors. And coming to the Jan Vishwas bill, certain sections of the Drugs Act have been brought under Jan Vishwas bill. So that means, they will be compounded. The rules have been framed. They are under the consideration of the ministry. Other issues, because of short of time, so I'll skip this slide. International cooperation. So we have done so many. These are the list of countries where we either have MOU, SOI, and many more are in the pipeline. So before closing my talk, marketing pitch. So India is conducting CDSCO, Ministry of Health, is conducting this 19th International Conference of Drug Regulatory Authorities. So it is a 5-day program. The first 2 days is open for the industry also. So I invite you to register. Of course, it is a paid conference. So please register because this is the first time it is being held in India. I don't think many of us will get another opportunity in near time. And please be part of the proceedings. You have opportunity to meet all the international regulators. So we have invited 183 countries, out of which we already 200 regulators from all the leading countries have already registered. So you will have the opportunity to meet all the regulators of major countries. We expect 100 countries to participate at least. So this is the agenda. You can find this on there's a website, icdra2024.in. And we also have a provision for exhibition. So both will be provided. So this will give you opportunity to interact with the regulators to whichever countries that you might be exporting, because 50% of our total market size is being exported. So take this opportunity and then try to interact. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ranga, for sharing those valuable insights and updates.